Welcome to Educated, Empowered, and Enthused. My name is Dr. Megan Kaylee McPhee McGlone. I am a physical therapist, fitness instructor, wicked fierce mental health advocate, and founder and owner of Lovely Bones, your one-stop shop for the holistic health and fitness services that I believe that you so deserve. Whether you're watching or listening to me today, I am so incredibly honored to have you. Happy 2026. Holy I don't know if I plan to swear on this podcast or whether I'll bleep that out, but holy it's 2026. And I'm sure that you could search online and hear a lot of fitness influencers out there or healthcare professionals talk about the new year. It's a hot topic. I want to give you something you've never heard before today, and I want to get really real with you about how I can help you actually feel well and build on that and have an upward spiral instead of the downward spiral that so many of us are tragically used to, right? The new year, what do people think about? I don't want to be yucking anyone's yum. I don't want to be a negative Nelly here. No poo-pooing on your parade. It is genuinely I'm disillusioned, faux show, but it is a nice time. It's a beautiful time where you are inspired, probably. This is the positive of it. You are inspired to make a change in your life and to probably prioritize whatever goals you have for yourself, but usually prioritize your health. And so that is all awesome. Again, I'm a little cynical about it because of what I'll get into next, but I really do think, like anything, you could pick, I love a solstice. You could pick the equinox, the solstice, the new year, whatever it is for you as an opportunity to make a change. And that's awesome because I think that, different times of the year bring different things and that's super cool. However, on the other darker side of things, of course, that you may be, knowing where I'm going here is the toxicity. The toxicity and the pressure that comes along with this time of year as well. And that is something that really devastates me and that can really negatively impact folks. If you're, I'm speaking as a New Englander here, if you live in a part of the world where it's already dark, it's getting better, but it's wicked dark out, wicked early, and then you feel shamed and judged and all this pressure to make a change, usually regarding your health. But let's be real, when people think about New Year's resolutions, they're not thinking about improving your blood sugar levels and improving your cortisol levels in your body and thinking about, how you can improve your mental and psychological well-being. People are thinking about shrinking themselves or losing weight. And maybe you're thinking about getting strong, and maybe you're thinking about improving your cardiovascular health. Obviously, I'm speaking in generalizations. It is typically really toxic. And society has shifted, for sure. We need to celebrate the improvements out there, and I think more people than ever feel empowered to move their body for mental well-being and for overall health. But it's still there. It's still creeping. The propaganda is really, really deep. So as we approach the new year, I want to give you the validation that you so deserve and call out. I'm in it, but I'm calling out the billion-dollar fitness industry, the billion-dollar wellness industry are that profitable for a reason. They are preying. They are literally predatory, preying on our insecurities. You just don't deserve that toxicity in your life. Life is hard enough. Let me amp up the Boston on that. Life is hard enough, and let's make it stop, okay? So, a couple of analogies for you before I move into giving you something really actionable that you can do to feel better right here and right now, and something that can hopefully change your life in a simple way that is not like at all what you're seeing flooding you online. The things that are really intense that you might think are the best options for you, but then you hold them for a little while, you're not able to sustain them, you fall back down, you feel like a failure, you feel shame, you feel judgment, and you just rinse and repeat in that cycle. It's terrible. So I'm going to give you something really actionable that I hope is going to change the game for you that you may not have ever been pitched before, when these more grandiose things are going to make more money and be more profitable and feed off of that insecurity, loop, shame spiral, so on and so forth. And I have my handy dandy notes here with me. Yes, my two analogies. I'm going to give you two analogies. One is the stuffy nose analogy. Everyone can relate to that. You don't appreciate right now. Hold on, let me appreciate it. No stuff. I can breathe super clearly, right? Nobody appreciates their non-stuffed nose. You go through your life just living it, and then when you have a stuffy nose, you are in bed like the saddest little, playing your tiny violin for yourself, like, oh my God, lamenting the days where you could breathe clearly. You are not appreciating that until you have the stuffy nose lying in bed thinking, oh my God, I can't sleep. I can't believe I breathed well every single day and I didn't appreciate it. Health is like that. If you are at the point where you are disillusioned with the typical recommendations for improving your health this time of year, I don't want you to think that it's that all or nothing. I could do a whole separate podcast on all or nothing. Hate, hate, hate. A lot of people think, well, if I can't do the intense 75-day shred or whatever, then what can I do? Then there's nothing to do for my health, which is so not true. It is important. I want to say this. It is important to prioritize, to pick yourself up, to motivate yourself 100,000%. But it is not your fault at all at the same time if you are in a place where you feel like you're unwell and you don't know what to do about it. It is not your fault at all. There's that balance. If I have any negative comments come at me in my professional career, and I am so lucky, knock on wood, as my grandfather would do, gunk, 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 knock on wood, I am so lucky I have an amazing community and I really don't get a lot of hate. The only hate that I would get is for being too coddling and too easy on people. And I think that's really interesting. Again, hearkening to what people are used to this time of year and in general. What are they used to? This insane level of intensity. I have intensity when it comes to hyping you up, but I do not have intensity when it comes to dialing up the dose of your workouts. I am going to get really real with you. I am going to look at the totality of your life and dig into what is best for you to feel successful right now and allow you to, working with the science of neuroscience and psychology, allow you to snowball, feel successful, have more bandwidth and energy, and build on that. I get really real with you. People are actually sometimes put off by how small I suggest that they start. They're like, whoa, do you not think I could do a 2-hour intensive in the gym? Well, I think you might be able to do it 100%, but is that what is best for you right now, given your totality of life circumstances? Probably not. Your clinical history, whatever it is, probably not. I get really real with people. And just because I come at it with a mental health lens and a kind, compassionate approach and focus on these social determinants of health and all the reasons why you might be unwell, instead of judging, shaming, and being harsh, people think that I'm not encouraging motivation or encouraging autonomy and drive. So it's really interesting to me, really interesting to see that play out. But I'll take that. I'll take that all day if that's my criticism. So the stuffy nose analogy, think about that. A lot of people wait to take care of their health until they're in a crisis. Do not wait to take care of your health until you're in a crisis. Pick yourself up and do something, literally anything for yourself, and be proud of that and move forward. And again, I'm going to give you specific examples that you can actually feel successful with no matter what level you're at right now. The next analogy and last analogy I'll give you today that I saw the other day online and I thought it was absolutely brilliant is about brushing your teeth. Again, reframing health most people are not doing things like strength training, mobility, any sort of regulation for the nervous system preventatively. Not a lot of people are doing that. Again, there's some absolute workout champions out there, but from a population standpoint, less than 20% of people meet the current activity guidelines, at least speaking in the United States. And I want to obviously be a part of that change for sure and motivate people. But the brushing the teeth analogy, I'd reckon most people, I don't have that stat, I will say, don't quote me, but I'd reckon most people brush their teeth. Why do you brush your teeth? You brush your teeth preventatively to prevent decay and crisis. So if we can brush our teeth every night, could we also, spoiler, could we also do some breathing for 30 seconds to regulate our nervous system, to sleep better, to improve our cognition, to improve our blood flow, to improve our immune function, to improve our joint health, yada, yada, yada. The list goes on. If people could literally breathe intentionally for 30 seconds a day, right after you brush your teeth, habit stacking, shout out, right after you brush your teeth, you could preventatively change the game for you. Over time, the compounding interest on that for your pain sensitivity, for your mental health, for your overall health and well-being, the benefit is absolutely immeasurable. So those are my two analogies where I want you to think about incorporating the practices I'm about to talk about, like brushing your teeth. I want you to think about and be motivated and driven by the analogy about the stuffy nose. We are going to do all of this being extremely real with ourselves, taking shame and judgment out of the game, and being proud, genuinely proud, buying in to being proud of anything we do to benefit our health. So, if you've been listening this long, I am about to uncover, again, gave you the little spoiler alert on breathing, the exact thing that I, as a doctor of physical therapy, as your pal who cares about you, would recommend that is realistic and sustainable. And actually, I swear to God, I swear, people are saying the 30-day burn, whatever, to lose the muffin top and lose these things and all this toxicity. People say that's easy. Just get up and do it. It's not. It's not easy. Not everyone has the same 24 hours in the day. That is a big fat lie. What I am about to tell you is actually integratable into your life no matter what level you're at, and you can modify it to yourself even more or less than what I'm about to recommend. It is a specific breathing technique called the physiological sigh or the functional sigh. Physiological just meaning the functioning of our body, essentially how our body actually functions. Anatomy being what is it? Physiology being how does it? How does it do? When you are really upset, right? Think about naturally, and I hate to even evoke this, but I think unfortunately a lot of people can relate to feeling grief in your life, whether a loved one has passed or you just have some really intense grief and feelings. Everyone can relate to being really upset, getting upset, and what does your body naturally do? The body is a wonderland. This is unbelievable. Your body goes like this. It tries to calm you down naturally. That is literally a sigh. It's a sigh that happens naturally, and that is your body's way of regulating your nervous system, of getting you from a heightened state back down to one of calm. And although people can have issues getting stuck on both ends of the spectrum, people can absolutely be stuck down here in depression land rather than being up here in anxiety, fight or flight land. But the vast majority of the population has had the issue being stuck up here. So I'm gonna focus on this breathing technique being a way to get you down back to a place of calm. So obviously proceed with caution. Make sure that this feels good for you. If you have any breathing stuff as well, obviously stay safe always. But this is super, super easily achievable. The physiological sigh is based on ratios of inhale to exhale. The exhale has to be longer than the inhale. Point blank, period. You can have any number theoretically within your functional capability that is comfortable for you. Any number, as long as the ratio is such that the exhale is longer than the inhale. The physiological sigh has an extra little nugget of secret sauce, which is this one more gulp of air at the top that opens up the alveoli, the little sacs at the ends of the branches of our lungs, opens them up, gets you the most oxygen that you possibly can during that inhale. Then open mouth, exhale like you're fogging up a window. That is specific, that is science-based, and let it all go. I will demonstrate for you right now, but that is it. Simple. And you can do this pretty much anytime and anywhere. I know that people sometimes are embarrassed to do their mobility routines at the airport, in public, or what have you. Although, in my humble opinion, although I get it, those people are going to be jealous of you because you feel fabulous. So you be empowered to do your mobility anywhere, anytime too. But the breathing is particularly nonchalant. And I highly recommend that you do this preventatively, once or twice a day, even 30 seconds. 30 seconds, based on the research, seems to be the minimum dose that you need to feel an effect. But if you want to do more than that, amazing. I recommend you do it preventatively, and I also highly recommend that you use it as medicine in a moment of heightened anxiety. Obviously, again, take that with a grain of salt. If you have a clinical diagnosis and you are taking pharmaceutical medication or anything else, but if you have that day-to-day spike in anxiety before public speaking, before doing, going to a social event that you're nervous about, whatever it is, I recommend that you do this preventatively. So just demonstrating very briefly, you are going to sit in a comfortable position or be in a comfortable position. You are going to inhale through your nose. Let's say you start with 2 seconds for the inhale and 4 seconds for the exhale. You're going to inhale through your nose for 1, 2. At the top, that one more big gulp of air. And then open mouth, exhale, let it go for 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. You can mini pause in between before you start again, adding in extra things that are going to send your brain signals of safety, that are going to amp up the dial on the calm-o-meter, the vibes meter, if you want to crank that up. Close your eyes, put on some spa music, hit the Spotify spa music. There's tons out there for you. You can turn down the lights, put on warm glowing lighting, put a fuzzy blanket over you. I mean, you can really do this up if you want to. But again, could I reasonably, sitting at my desk job, could I reasonably, with nobody knowing, none the wiser, sit there? Yes, super easily. And even me just doing it once. I'm sitting here giving a podcast in my own home and I feel comfortable. But even just doing it the one time, you feel a little more cleansed, you feel a little lighter. And again, the research suggests that you should be doing it for 30 seconds to get a benefit. That being said, I've just given you this tool. I hope it is an incredibly valuable tool in your toolbox. I hope it changes the game for you. Is this going to magically cure all of your problems and cure your anxiety overnight? Absolutely not. I wish it did. I hope it does. But that is not a guarantee. Nature takes time. I'm gonna, one last time, harken back to something like the X number of days shred. Usually the number is pretty small. I said 75 before. Usually it's something like a few weeks, 30 days, something like that. The reason, one of the many reasons why that type of method doesn't work, is because it is just simply not enough time to change your life to the degree of which it promises. You are nature, and nature takes time. This is silly, but is anyone yelling at the ocean to come on, erode that rock faster? Nobody's yelling at Mother Ocean because nature takes time, and people understand that. You cannot make the sun rise or set any faster. And in the same vein, you cannot make your body change meaningfully very fast. You need to honor where you are at now. You might not even realize that you are stuck up here. It becomes your new normal. But if you really dig in and you think about, wow, how long in my life have I felt maybe the little symptoms of increased muscle tension, of increased heart rate, of discomfort in certain situations where you just can't place your finger on it, but you have racing thoughts and you're not at peace. Maybe you have headaches. Maybe you have sleep problems. Maybe you have issues with eating and nourishing yourself. There could be a million different symptoms out there that you just think are sort of normal, that you can be complacent with, that are just inevitable with a busy, crazy life. And I'm telling you, life is hard. It is going to take dedication and meaningful work, but you can change. You can feel better. Almost no matter what, no matter where you are at, you can feel better. And I think the biggest failure of any health or fitness professional out there is, again, not giving you one, the validation that life is hard and there's a million reasons why you might be unwell that have nothing to do with your laziness. Not only that, but the biggest failure is not then giving you, in addition to the validation that you so deserve, something that you can actually own and feel successful with. That is not to be understated. So if you are that person who's like, ugh, Meg, yeah, thanks for your 30-second breath work. I'm going to go keep doing my intense HIIT cardio 5 times a week, and I'm going to still hit the gym for 2 hours. But actually, when I get home, am I in kind of agonizing pain? Am I feeling constantly burnt out? Some of these things are resonating with me. Maybe even though I can do it, my routine is too intense. Maybe I'm eating in a calorie deficit in addition to doing a really intense routine, and I am a parent with a busy job, or I'm a caregiver, or I live in a place with poorer air quality, or I don't have the finances to consult with a health professional that I trust to give me an individualized plan, or maybe I don't have access to education or the literal access to good places and professionals around me. There are, and I just listed out a bunch of social determinants of health, by the way. Definitely look up that term if you're interested. There's a lot to read out there. There are a million reasons, is the point, that you might be less well, feeling less well than you want to be. Buy in to the breath work. If any of this resonates with you, and even if it doesn't, it's gonna help you. It's undoubtedly going to be a positive in your life. And if you want to prove me wrong, I would love that. Try to prove me wrong. I would love if you would do that, because at the end of the day, I would hope that it would be a positive experience for you no matter what. So all that being said, I hope that if I gave you anything today, in addition to that breathing technique that I hope is going to change your life and be a beloved part of your day, that you feel, again, successful with, that allows you to then feel a little, even one increment, a little bit better, and then build on that. If I gave you anything other than that breathing technique, I hope I gave you some validation and allowed you to appreciate the pros and cons of this time of year. You just so deserve to be well. I am telling you that if you give yourself the opportunity to buy in to something that regulates your nervous system, that honors your body, that then you can build on and snowball from, you will never regret it. Your health is precious. Health is absolutely invaluable. Just as important as breathing and fitness and nutrition and everything else is spending time with loved ones, engaging in activities that bring you joy. Those things are incredibly, incredibly important. I want you to do all that. I want you to crochet. I'm thinking about my mom. I want you to crochet. I want you to bake the sourdough. I want you to roll around in the grass outside. Do those things that bring you the most joy, but then also motivate yourself to do at least one little thing that might not be as fun, that might not be as sexy as your gua sha or whatever you like to do for yourself, which is, if you don't know what that is, a little facial massage. I do love it. I have a gua sha. I love it, to be clear. But do something that's a little less sexy, do the breathing, and never look back. The toxicity out there this time of year, the intensity, the propaganda is never going to serve you. What is going to serve you is that mindset shift to know that your health is everything, that your health is important and worth fighting for, but you can do it in a different way. You can fight for your health in a way where you honor yourself, mind and body the entire time, and do not feel that shame and judgment. You make that commitment to yourself and you do it in a way that feels actually sustainable. Thank you, as always, for supporting Lovely Bones. Again, if you are here, I am so honored to have you. This is the beginning of my 5th year, 5 years in the eyes of the government of Lovely Bones, kind of 6 years when I include the free flows that I used to teach on Instagram during the COVID pandemic, but 5 years in just a couple of days from when this is being recorded. It is my 5th anniversary, and this year, oh my gosh, I almost just got a little emotional, sneakily. I'm always emotional. Who am I kidding? I am so incredibly grateful to be here. I feel as though it is my life's purpose and calling to be here with you and to support you and help you through all of the difficulties that life has for us. Life is hard, right? And what is the most beautiful thing about life is being able to have community, being able to have fellow human beings supporting you and reminding you about what's important and focusing on the joy and the things that you deserve. I want you to have it all. I want you to be well for as long as possible. I want you to do whatever the hell you want in life for as long as possible. And I know you can get there. If you need me, I am here for you. Visit lovelybonespt.com to look at all the services I offer on the spectrum of you being injured and actively in pain and needing rehab, all the way to somebody who's really well trained, but maybe just needs an absolutely individualized program to be able to function and feel your absolute best in life. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Be well.